Well, what's up again there, guys? Brian here, the Three Topics Gamer, and I have a quick little discussion video to share with you guys today. Now, as you guys know, I am a massive Metal Gear Solid fan, so whenever there's some significant news that has been put out there, you know I have to immediately stop everything I'm doing and talk about it. And for this particular video, I will be going over the recent announcement that for the upcoming Metal Gear Solid movie, which I thought they canceled like a year ago, it has been just about confirmed that Oscar Isaac has been cast as Solid Snake. Now, personally, when it just comes to the casting, I'm perfectly fine with this. I think he could actually do a really good Solid Snake. However, there is one little issue that I have been seeing all over Twitter in terms of these announcements. Why am I still seeing pictures of people posting Oscar Isaac next to Big Boss? So apparently people doing these outlet reports don't realize that Big Boss and Solid Snake are two completely different people. If anything, Solid Snake is a clone of Big Boss. And this goes to really ultimately my biggest issue I have of this entire Metal Gear Solid movie idea in general. I still am very much against this movie, and I just don't think you can actually tell a proper story of the first Metal Gear Solid game. Not the first Metal Gear game. There were two previous ones before this one came out. I just not sure you could really do a good job telling this game's story in 2 hours. You'd have to cut so much out. And it comes down to the whole idea that there's already so much lore you'd have to ignore just to get to this. And if anything, I think the lore that takes place before this story is far more interesting. And there's so many key elements that are in this game in general that if you don't know anything that happened before, you're going to be completely lost. So any idea of where the concept of a Metal Gear came from, who Big Boss is, who I openly consider to be a much bigger and more important character to the franchise than Solid Snake. Because Solid Snake really, if you don't count the two Metal Gear games, only has 2 games out of the primary 7 that focus on him. And that's this one and Metal Gear Solid 4, which is at the very end of the storyline. And then you take all of the crazy little elements that'll just be confusing. So I'm just concerned that for a franchise like this that really isn't as well known, this isn't like a Mortal Kombat or a Sonic. These are franchises that not only have been around a long time, but these are franchises that are very, very popular, that the general public would have at least heard about. And Metal Gear Solid is one of those franchises that if you're not already a fan about it, you probably won't know what it is. And on top of that, we haven't even had a true Metal Gear Solid game in so many years. It's kind of become almost a semi-forgotten franchise. Now, don't get me wrong. I haven't forgotten about this franchise, as it's my favorite franchise of all time, and Metal Gear Solid 3 is my favorite video game of all time. But I just do not want to have a movie adaptation just completely screw up its reputation, as little reputation as there is. Now, there have been several rumors that maybe Sony will, buy out Konami's ownership of it, and they'll want to do a remake of it for the PlayStation 5, and if that does happen, then that could breed in some new life into this franchise. But this movie is still something I'm very much concerned about, because I love this franchise so much. I just do not want it to join the long list of horrible movie adaptations for great video game franchises. But when it comes to just the casting itself, I absolutely am supportive of it. I do think Oscar Isaac could easily pull off a Solid Snake. However, they might want to clarify that he is in fact a clone, unless that's something that they also want to remove. Also, on another note, I have heard that Kojima has some little bit involvement in it, and the one thing that would just completely remove all of my fears about this film in general is if Hideo Kojima himself says that he has read the script and it's okay. I can't imagine a script for a Metal Gear Solid movie would be great, but if he at least says that I think it can work in this much condensed, shorter version. He doesn't have to say what's in the script, but for him to just say that it's okay, it can actually work, would remove all my fears, because I do not question Kojima. I do not question the legend himself. Anything that man wants to do in terms of story or direction, I'm completely behind. So those are just my immediately quick thoughts on the casting of Oscar Isaac as Solid Snake, if that is in fact what is going to happen. If you guys have seen these reports, I'd like to know, what are your guys' thoughts? Do you think Oscar Isaac could actually pull off a great Solid Snake? And what are your thoughts on the Metal Gear Solid movie in general? Do you still think that they could actually pull it off? Or are you like me that has some general concerns and just doesn't want this to become another awful film? So those are my thoughts on this recent announcement. If you happen to enjoy this little discussion video, please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up and press the subscribe button. If you happen to enjoy content like this and would like to see more from me. And like always, thank you guys for watching. You're awesome, and I will see you next time.